Hi, my name is Elena, and I went to the Seattle Aquarium Animal Crossing New Horizons event 4 different times. That might sound kind of crazy, but honestly, I really enjoyed myself, and I wanted to have a video sharing my experience and my thoughts. I just want to say thank you to the Seattle Aquarium for gifting one of my visits. This will be my complete and honest opinion and review on the event. All opinions are my own and are not representative of the Seattle Aquarium or of Nintendo, the company. There's a lot to unpack here, so let's go ahead and get started. The Seattle Aquarium Animal Crossing event went from October 2023 all the way to, I believe, March of 2024. So it was a pretty long-lasting event, and I feel like they could have gotten away with doing it for a little bit longer. Each time I went, it was pretty busy, and it got busier as I was staying there. I probably stayed at least 2 hours each time I went. Part of this is because I always went with friends or with someone, or there was like something new each time I wanted to see, or some sort of video I wanted to film, or specific thing I wanted to do. But I would say I spent a pretty good amount of time there, despite the fact that I feel like there wasn't as much as there could have been to do. So first, what exactly was available at this event? Right when you walked in, there was a giant lit up sign that had Animal Crossing New Horizons on it, and then also featured some of the characters from the game, like CJ, I think Blathers was on it, Tom Nook, etc. Next, they had different standees spread out all throughout the aquarium. The first one that you would see when you walked in was Isabel right in front of the giant tank at the entrance. Next, if you walk into the aquarium a little bit more, you'll see Tom Nook by the jellyfish. If you go into the other building where the otters are, you'll see Pascal, and then near the salmon, you'll see Blathers. And then finally in the gift shop, you would find the Timmy and Tommy standee. I will say the fact they only had 5 standees was a little bit disappointing. I wish they would have had more and showcased more characters, but there may be logistics reasons as to why that wasn't able to be the case. There was a little stand near the entrance where you could scan a QR code and get platinum points for your Nintendo account, which I thought was really nice. So I was able to rack up some platinum points each time I visited the aquarium. There was an online bingo where you would scan a QR code and then a little bingo sheet would appear on your phone, and it had a lot of the different fish and other marine life that was around the aquarium, and you could like check off once you found them. I will say the online bingo thing was kind of annoying because, for example, they had a great white shark on there, and they obviously don't actually have a great white shark at the aquarium. They have like a hanging model of one, but I was like, does that count? I don't know. Like the instructions were kind of unclear, and I like didn't end up finding every fish even though I was looking pretty hard. I don't know, I just remember like the great white shark thing really sticking out to me because I'm like, yeah, you have a model of it, but that doesn't really count. Like, I want to be looking for real fish, not for like models that you have around the aquarium. There were multiple signs around the aquarium with Blathers on them that also had like the Animal Crossing image of whatever fish it was, and then some information about the fish as well. There were a lot of these around, and the first time I went, half of them were on like the digital signage, which I found really annoying, because you had to sit there and wait for it to like scroll by because they had like a PowerPoint with a bunch of different like informational slides, and the Blathers one was really only like one of them. Eventually they did get more plaques. I noticed like as I progressively kept going, they did implement more plaques, which I thought was nice because the digital signage thing was kind of annoying, having to like stand there and wait, and then you feel like you're in the way. And so I'm glad that they fix that. And then obviously like they had a lot of fish and other things that are also in the game, so it's always really cool to like go and see something that's also like in a video game. And to be honest, I would not know what half of those fish are if it weren't for Animal Crossing, so that was really nice. They did also have a small merchandise stand in the gift shop, and I will get into that a little bit later. Last but not least, they did have a stamp rally and character meet and greets. These were only on certain weekends. It was not every weekend, it was not every day. They only did the character meet and greets for special events, like they did one on Halloween, and then they did one for the closing weekend, and they might have done one more, I don't remember. So the character meet and greet was very exclusive. Like, if you didn't know that it was happening, you probably weren't going to meet Tom Nook and Isabel. The stamp rally was kind of short. It was basically every time you saw a standee, you would get a stamp of that character. So the Blathers standee, you would get a Blathers stamp. The Isabel standee, you would get an Isabel stamp, etc. It was basically just a way for you to go around and find all the standees, and then you would get a stamp on a little card. And once you completed the stamp rally, they gave you a prize at the end. Onto the character meet and greets. Like I said, these were pretty exclusive. I don't know how many they actually ended up doing throughout the entirety of the event, but I went to 2 of them. The first one was Halloween, and I actually went dressed up as Brewster from Animal Crossing, and I thought more people would be dressed up, but there was really only like a few people that I saw like dressed up. I saw someone dressed up as Red, which I thought was really cool, and I think I saw some people dressed up as like Timmy and Tommy, but other than that, it was mostly kids in like other Halloween costumes, which is great. I mean, the event was made for kids anyway, but yeah, there weren't that many people dressed up that weekend. How the character meet and greets worked was one of the characters would come out for 10 minutes by themselves. The other one would make their way out, and they would stay out together for 10 minutes. And then the one who came first would leave, and then the one who came second would stay out for another 10 minutes. So really, these meet and greets were only about 30 minutes. I will say the lines moved extremely quickly. They were rushing you, and most people really only took like 10 to 30 seconds with the characters, which makes sense because they're not out there very long. So I understand why, but literally they had someone at the front of the line yelling to everyone, make sure your cameras are ready, turn the flash on because it's backlit, make sure you have what you need, our employee will take the picture for you. And like, it was very like, go, 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 you don't get time to think, you just go. Because of this, I was able to get in line like multiple times and like get a picture with just Tom Nook, and then get a picture with Tom Nook and Isabel, and then get a picture with just Isabel. And then what I would do, because I wanted videos, is I would just say, hey, can you take a video of me? And so they would take a video, I would like do whatever, I would like pose for a picture, and then I would leave. It literally like probably 10 seconds. I would then go back later and just screenshot the picture, which isn't super ideal, but if I wanted both picture and video, like that was just how it was gonna have to be. These meet and greets were usually at a specific time throughout the day, and there were probably only like 4 or 5 times throughout the day where the characters would be out. I pretty much always went to the earliest one because I was not trying to be there when there was a lot of people. I think that's part of the reason why I was able to like keep getting in line. The first time I went on the Halloween event, I felt really embarrassed because there wasn't that many people there, and I kept getting in line. Like, just after I was finished, I would just keep getting in line, and the employee at the front just kept being like, oh my gosh, you're back. Oh, I love the dedication. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. I just feel like Animal Crossing events don't happen, and so if I'm gonna go to one, I'm gonna make the most of it, I'm gonna have a great time, and I'm gonna do what I want. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but the lighting was terrible. They had it so like the characters were here, and if the characters are facing you and their back is toward me, the light was coming like this way. There wasn't light coming from this way, like on you. You were backlit. So you had to turn the flash on, and it didn't look good. I feel like they could have put it somewhere else. Even with the flash, they just like didn't look that good. And I just feel like they could have put it somewhere else to where they had better lighting, because the whole point of like going and meeting the characters, I mean, yes, like you get to interact with them, but it was so fast. So if the whole point is to take pictures, I feel like they could have put it somewhere else to where like the pictures just could have looked better. I know that's like a really nitpicky thing, but when you're going just to take pictures, you would think that they would try and like do something to help with the lighting, but just the way that they had it, like the pictures look dark, like I don't know, it just wasn't a great setup. Overall, I think the character meet and greets were really great, and I wish they would have done it more often, but it really did add a lot more to the event. Now let's talk about the merchandise. They had one measly stand in the gift shop with merchandise on it. The first time I went, the only things that they had were a bunch of plushies. These plushies are Club Mochi Mochi plushies, and you could get them on Amazon for cheaper. Did I still buy them because I didn't know you could get them on Amazon cheaper? Yes, I still bought them, okay? Sue me, I didn't know, but I was a little disappointed when I came home and found out they were on Amazon for like half the price that they were selling them at the aquarium. You did get one free amiibo card with the purchase of a plushie. They did eventually add some more things, I noticed as I kept going. They added some Pez dispensers, probably a few other things as well. And then the very last time I went, which was like their closing weekend, they were also selling the Animal Crossing Legos, which I thought was nice. I really wish they would have had more. I'm quite literally wearing something that they should have sold. This is a CJ hoodie, and they were not selling this. This is from Hot Topic, and this has like all the fish on the back. And I'm like, why were you not selling this? Or like any like t-shirts or like exclusive like Seattle Aquarium X Animal Crossing merch? It just, I don't know. I feel like they lacked in the merch department, and that was really disappointing because I would have spent all my money. Not gonna lie. Okay, so now that we've talked about the merchandise, I'm gonna show you everything that I either bought or got for free at the event. This giant box is filled with everything that I got at the Seattle Aquarium event. First and foremost, I'm gonna start with the like paper or stickers that I got. This was the first Stamp Rally little sheet that they had. You'll see the second one later. I know, the Isabel one is sideways, don't mind that. As you can see, this was the little Stamp Rally card that they had with a map of the aquarium and then a place for the stamps. Now this is the second one that I got, and if you see it in comparison to this one, it's a lot bigger. I'm not sure why they did that. This one also has like, it feels like a receipt, if you know, like that kind of paper, whereas this one is like cardstock paper, and then that's the back. And then they would give you this little hole punch if you went around and found all of them, indicating that you could get your prize. The Seattle Aquarium gifted me these for Octopus Week. They have an octopus at the aquarium, and so Octopus Week is kind of a big thing, and they gifted me this with all of the octopi in Animal Crossing. This is cute. Like, this is the stuff I like to see. It's like Seattle Aquarium, but it's also like Animal Crossing. Here's a better looking Stamp Rally. It's like not as bent. And as you can see, they had different little hole punches, which I thought was cute. This is actually a sticker. And if you like peel it off, it would fit perfectly on the back of your Switch. I'm not sticking anything on the back of my Switch, so I just kept it, but it's cute. And last but not least, yeah, so I got this on the closing weekend, and it's the Legos as stickers. I don't know if they are handing these out at the Lego store too. Honestly, I'm sure they are, but like, that is so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the prizes that you could get from the Stamp Rally. These were all free of charge. The first one is this little bag. Honestly, I don't really want to take it out because it's like folded really nice. But just imagine, it's like one of those bags, you know, that can like come out. It's just one of those, and it has this like leaf pattern on it. Next, they had a bunch of patches. Pascal, Blathers, Isabel, and Tom Nook. They also had a bunch of these button pins. Pascal, Timmy and Tommy, Blathers, Isabel, and Tom Nook. Those were all of the freebies I got, and now I'm gonna move on to the stuff that I actually purchased. First and foremost, I got the Animal Crossing Pez. This one is KK Slider, and this one is Tom Nook. I don't know if I'm ever gonna open these, but I just had to snag them. Next, I got this lanyard, which I actually haven't opened. Okay, so this is what the lanyard looks like. It has a lot of characters on it, like Rossetti, Rosie, Fauna, Bunny, Peanut, Hamlet, Isabel, and then the back has the little leaf. I bought the Gulliver head plush. This is a Club Mochi Mochi plush, and it's so adorable. Like, I could not resist buying this. I also bought the Flick one because I never see Flick merch anywhere, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it. And last but certainly not least, I bought the Blathers head plush, also Club Mochi Mochi. Now, I did ask for you guys to send me any questions that you had about the event, so let's go ahead and answer some of those now. The first question is from Starlit Castles on Twitter. Yes, I have a question. So, when you went to the Seattle Aquarium Animal Crossing event, did you have to buy tickets in advance? Was it easy to get into, and how did that all work out? I'm a very planful person, and I just feel like your experience will be easier no matter where you're going if you book it in advance. I booked my tickets on the Seattle Aquarium website, always in advance. Besides my last visit where I was gifted the tickets, I would just go onto the Seattle Aquarium website and book however many tickets I needed. I think they were about $30, but I'm also a Washington resident, so I got a little discount there. I think it was all pretty easy to get into. However, I always went at 10 a.m. Each time I went at 10 a.m. because if you go around like noon or 1, that's probably when I felt like the most people were there. At one point, I was leaving around noon and I saw a lot of people waiting in line just to get in. So if they do this event somewhere else, go early and book your tickets in advance because it will just make it easier and will make your experience more enjoyable. The next question is from Jess or Clara the Cat on Twitter. How do you think the collab or experience could be improved? I've kind of started sprinkling this into the video already, but I think there's a lot of things that they had something for it, but they could have fledged it out more. For example, the merchandise. You could have done so much more with the merchandise, but you didn't. They could have done more standees. They could have put more plaques around. I just think overall, while I still had a great time and I always made the most of it, they could have elevated it a little bit. When I compare it to the content I've seen from my friends about the Animal Crossing events in aquariums in Japan, it's lacking a lot in comparison to those. I saw my friend just went and they did a whole dolphin show to Animal Crossing music at the aquarium that he went to. Am I saying they should do dolphin shows here? No, but that just kind of gives you an idea of the difference of what they had. I could be wrong, I could have just not been paying attention, but they weren't even playing Animal Crossing music in the aquarium when I went every single time. They didn't have any Animal Crossing shows. Overall, I just feel like the event could be elevated if they just made small improvements to each of the things that they already had. Does that mean I did not have fun? No. Does that mean I wouldn't do it again? No. I mean, I literally went 4 times. So it was still a good event, but there was just some things that were lacking. The next question is from Dom or Sour Cream. How are you managing the lack of Seattle Aquarium X AC merch to take home because I'm still suffering personally? I've already brought this up multiple times in this video, but I 100% agree. They totally could have done Seattle Aquarium Animal Crossing themed merch. Don't get me wrong, like you saw earlier, they handed out a bunch of free stuff. They did have merchandise, but I think it would have been a really nice touch if they did Seattle Aquarium X Animal Crossing merch. This just makes it feel special. This would have probably made more people want to go because there was exclusive merch. And then if they decide to bring this to other aquariums, that's even more incentive to go because there would be exclusive merch at whatever aquarium it's at. So I agree 100%. The merch department was lacking, okay? I don't know what was going on, but y'all could have had more merch. They could have sold this. Work with Hot Topic. I don't know. The next question is from Cinemo Die Sla 686. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. On Instagram. What is the experience like? I will say I had a ton of fun. each time that I went. You walk around a lot, you take pictures a lot, and I think the stamp rally ended up being a really nice touch because you go and you get your little stamp. Seeing the fish is really cool. The Seattle Aquarium also has a lot of other marine life like otters and seals, and they have an octopus as well. So the Seattle Aquarium is a good aquarium to go to, even in general, even if they didn't have the event going on. So overall, I had a good time. The next question is from Allison Fontes on Instagram. What was your favorite part of it? I love your vibe so much. Thank you, Allison. I appreciate that. I would say my favorite part was probably the character meet and greets and being able to meet Tom Nook and Isabel. The next question is from shillsb_ on Instagram. Did they do it justice? I've brought this up multiple times in this video. I think it was a good event. I think it was decent. Do I think they did it justice in comparison to the ones I've seen in Japan? No. The next question is from May Plays TV. Did you see any losers that traveled from London and pulled out a Nintendo Switch and showed their Animal Crossing island to a seal? Actually, I did. Just kidding. May is my friend, and he did in fact pull out his Switch and show his Animal Crossing island to the seal. And finally, the last question is from Melissa Susan _. What was it like being in the presence of iconic British legends Melissa Susan and May Plays TV? So if you can't tell, my friends May and Melissa flew from London to go to this event, and we had an absolute blast. I think we spent like probably at least 2.5 hours, if not 3 hours in the aquarium, going around, seeing everything, taking pictures, taking videos, doing the stamp rally, all of that. And they are the most wonderful human beings ever. I'm so grateful that I got to see them, and they came all the way from London to see it. So that was really cool, and it was just really a fun event to go to with your friends, especially if they also like Animal Crossing and like understand everything. It was really fun, honestly. Overall, I think it says something that I was able to attend this event 4 different times and still have a great time every single time that I went. The event was really good, and while there were some areas that were lacking, I think overall the Seattle Aquarium and Nintendo did a really great job. And for it being the first one in the United States, I think it was pretty good. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as it really helps me out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!